I'd like to just give you my appraisal of the Bullworker. Now, I've been using it for some time, reusing it for some time, just in case some of you are interested. What I notice immediately, what I've noticed so far, is I've been aware of my back as somehow being more like the centre of my body almost. I've been aware of it perhaps being stronger, I think. I've noticed this area filling out, but in a kind of more general way, rather than absolute definition. I think maybe it works many phases, planes of the muscles, and that generally sort of fills out. So it's not so much a definition in that sense, but a rather more, I just feel more, I wouldn't say bulk exactly, but everything just feels a bit stronger. For me, I've been aware of hunching when I do it, and trying not to do that, just to let things sit, which is where I feel my back feels as if it's a bit broader. That's what I can say. I mean, I haven't measured or anything. It just feels like maybe because things are sitting a bit more, simply because I've been aware of that. Might not be to do with the exercise themselves. It might be just the awareness. We'll see. Abdominals and everywhere else, not so much the legs. I use cycling for that, but things feel stronger. Just when you move, things just feel sort of stronger and fitter. The isometrics, I was looking that up. There have been some arguments about them this way and the other. So the isometrics are where you compress, or whichever way you're doing it, and hold. It's static for some time. There are some advantages to that, particularly if you've got joint problems, because you're not grinding the pressure over the joints as you're moving. Some people say it's not so good for some things. I use a combination of both. I use the recommended isometrics, as they suggest actually in that original manual, and also the repetitions. So a combination of both, which I think works well. I think some disadvantages might be that there's not an extreme range of movement. One of the machines I used in the gym, you had your hands back here and then pulled things forward. So that's quite a long, you can't see, but quite a range of movement, which you can't really get from something that small. But however, it is small and portable, and it's better than nothing, I think, for sure. The old one compared to the new, I haven't got the new, my sister's bought a new one. The original one, which I had to start with, just had one cable. See, it's got two straps. Just had one cable going round. And eventually that cable, it was a steel cable covered in plastic, and I saw it was started to fray and break wherever they joined it. So I got this one, and this one has, either you could use it as one, or it's got the two straps. So you can use it in that manner, or in this manner. And obviously it makes no difference if you're doing that. I like that because it gives you more range of movement. If you've just got the one strap, you've got that range. But with this one, of course, you've got a wider range of movement, so that's useful. Also, because of the pulley effect, you've got two different levels of resistance, which I like, all in the one thing. I believe the new one doesn't have that, but does have replaceable springs. But this seems to be a good idea to me, because you get the wider movement as well. So fine, here it is, somewhat 40 years old maybe. I did have some concerns. One of them was, you know what plastic's like, sometimes it dries out and cracks. And I was wondering about this area at the top here, which has to take that force. If that were to come flying out when it was under compression and the spring shoot the end off, it might not be a happy result. So when I cleaned it, which you can do by this is what I did first of all, pulled this down, and then you can see the spring in there, and you can see a plastic guider in the center there, and you can pull that right out and take it apart. So I did that, and I soaked it in soapy water, and lots of stuff floated out. But when I was putting it back together, I noticed this. Let's see if I can do it for you. Keep away from the mic because I don't want to... Can be done, I assure you. I'm going to put this down here. So I pulled up on this end, and then this comes off, and you can see it's held by snapping with these clips inside into that area there. If I take this off, you'll see what we've got. Quite simple, really. It's the handle, the guide. What I was interested in is this area here. And what I wanted to do was to make sure that this area around here wasn't cracked. Because you can imagine if it is starting to crack, what's going to happen. But I'm very pleased to say I've examined it quite closely and there are no cracks. It seems fine. So there you are. What can I say? Some 40 years old, quite a lot of use it's had. I clean it up. I don't lubricate much. I don't think it needs much lubrication. That plastic thing there, I just put some guitar fret nut lubricant where the string goes over the nut. It's meant to be very slippery stuff. I just used a tiny amount of that because I figured caking it with grease or something like that's probably not going to be a good idea. Didn't seem to need it. And it seems to be working fine. And as far as I can see, no damage. The straps are fine, no fraying. So I think it's pretty much a bargain, to be honest.